Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ella Livingston and I'm the owner and founder of a chocolate company called Cocoa Asante. We basically create beautiful chocolate bars and chocolate bonbons using cacao sourced from my home country, Ghana. My goal is to eventually be a bean to bar company, meaning we're gonna process that chocolate from the cocoa bean all the way to the chocolate bar, and we're gonna source from my family's farm in Ghana. So I'm super excited, like I said, to meet you guys, but I wanted to create this video series called Chit-Chat with a Chocolatier to kind of open up a little bit more about my journey, what it's been like, let you guys see the behind the scenes. It's also a way for me to document my journey for myself, almost like a video diary. That way one day I can look back and kind of see where I started from. So welcome to our journey. So in terms of what we do, I told you guys that we create beautiful chocolate bars and bonbons. I'm actually going to show you guys two examples of our products that we have now. We're going to, of course, revamp and change because we're forever evolving. But this is our chocolate bar. I'm actually going to take it out of the plastic. And this is actually my personal sample. So usually we don't touch, our products with our bare hands. But here we go. This is our dark chocolate bar. You can see even without the plastic, it's super shiny and gorgeous. We use black cocoa butter to get that color and gold cocoa butter as well. And then this is the back. So really cool design. We're working on creating our own special design that's gonna be even cooler than what you see here. Here's also our milk chocolate bar. This one is blue and gold. And this is actually one of my favorite colors that we do and favorite designs that we do. We also do bonbons. So bonbons are basically like truffles in a way, but they have like a hard outer shell and a soft inside. And that soft inside can be anything from like a soft ganache center to caramel. We do a marshmallow s'mores one. We've done a cheesecake bonbon that was delicious. So that's a little bit about what we do. So how in the world did I decide to start a chocolate company? I don't even love chocolate. Like, I'm not a chocoholic. Like, I enjoy chocolate every once in a while, but I'm not a chocoholic. So why in the world would I start a chocolate company? Well, the idea for this started when I was studying abroad in Tokyo, Japan. I was there my junior year studying at Tsuda College, and I remember going to the Ginza district. It took me 2 hours by train, and I walked into this random shop. And if you know anything about pastry shops or dessert shops in Japan, they are like none other. I mean, gorgeous displays, wonderful customer service, and even better desserts and chocolates. Well, I got to try what was called Nama chocolate for the first time in my life, and I was blown away, you guys. Like, I tried this chocolate, it's been about 8 years now, and I still remember the experience of eating that chocolate. Like, I still remember how creamy and decadent, how melt in my mouth it was. I remember how fresh it tasted, and it didn't taste like it was just like a bunch of sugar and a bunch of preservatives. I mean, it was delicious to the point where even as a poor college student, I shouldn't say poor, a broke college student, I used to take the train 2 hours and spend $20 for a small little box of chocolate just because it was that good. And it got me thinking, like, why don't we have access to chocolate like this back home? And so what I wanted to do was kind of bring that experience that I had with that chocolate here to the US with our chocolates. It also happened that while I was there, people would always say, hey, like, where are you born? So people wouldn't say, like, where are you from? A lot of times they would say, what is your birthplace? And I would always say Ghana. And the first thing they would associate with Ghana was cacao or chocolate, because 60%, literally 60% of the world's chocolate comes from two countries, the Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. That's it. And so my mom had like told me that, when I was younger, she would say, oh, Ghana's known for their cacao. We grow some of the best tasting cacao. We've won awards for it, et cetera, et cetera. We have cocoa farms in our family. And I was like, yeah. In one ear, out the other. But when I got to Japan and I saw how like people were really confirming what my mom said, I was like, oh my gosh, my mom, she wasn't lying. She was telling the truth. And so that is kind of how the idea was born. I wanted to bring the experience, but I also wanted to combine what we do as a country, what we do as a family, right? We grow cacao beans. And so I want to be a bean to bar company that sources from my family, that is kind of growing my family's legacy in the cacao industry and the cocoa industry, and really literally from bean to bar, from beginning to end, we're hands-on in this whole supply chain and this whole process of creating a decadent and delicious chocolate that's sustainably sourced and sustainably farmed, that is fair trade, and that also pays a fair and living wage to the cocoa farmers that grow our cacao, which, if you know anything about the chocolate industry, is not something that happens a lot. So right now, literally less than 6% of every dollar that is made in the chocolate industry, only 6% goes to the cocoa farmers. Everything else is split between the retailers, the middlemen, the transportation, the processors, the manufacturers, etc. The cocoa farmers do a huge bulk of the work. I mean, their work takes years, right? It takes right now 5 years from planting the seed to harvesting a cacao pod. They've shortened it with some hybrid seeds to like 3 years, but either way, years, okay? But they're only making 6%, to the point where many farmers are unable to sustain their family's livelihood just with farming. And so oftentimes they have to get another job. This is something that's true for our family personally, and it's something that I want to be a part of changing, right? Why should it be that you're doing all this bulk of the work, this hard work, but you're barely able to sustain your family? So that's a part of our why for Cocoa Asante. I know I kind of went deep into it, but it's important that you guys know why I started the company, so that you can see why I'm so passionate about what we do. Oh, there goes my fridge. So you can see why I'm so passionate about what we do and kind of join us in our movement. So welcome. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is, I guess, the beginning stages of my journey. After I came back from Japan and came to the US, life happened. I pursued education because I'm passionate about that. If you don't know, I am a math teacher as well. I've been teaching for going on 6 years formally, but informally, I have over 10 years of experience teaching. And came to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and then one day my dad was like, "Hey, didn't you want to start a chocolate company one day? Like, you talked about that, but you haven't done anything towards it." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I did." So then I went ahead and started. I mean, when I started, Cocoa Asante, I didn't have a name. I didn't know anything about the cocoa industry or the chocolate industry. I didn't know how to make chocolate. I can't even bake, you guys. I can cook, but I cannot bake to save my life. I didn't even know what proper licensing I needed. Can I work out of my home? Do I have to have a commercial kitchen? None of it. No experience. And I quickly got overwhelmed by the amount of information that was out there online, because different licensing processes vary depending on your state and your industry. So I couldn't decipher through all that information. So I guess the Facebook algorithms were working, and next thing I knew, I saw an ad for Launch Chattanooga's 10-week business academy, and I decided to take that course. Best $100 investment of my life. That got me started. It gave me the confidence to pursue my business. They helped me figure out what is an EIN, who's your target customer, what's your market, what's your processes that you're going to go through from creating this product to getting it to the customer. Just different things like that is important for a business owner to know. Launch got me started into the ecosystem of Chattanooga, and so I'm forever grateful for them and for the other nonprofits that have been a part of our journey. So my first year, I sold almost $500 worth of chocolate. And to me, that was major. Holy crap. Now, if you're a business that employs people, or, you pay yourself, et cetera, the $500 isn't anything, right? But to me, that was huge. And since then, every year we've grown anywhere from 200 to 400%. And now we're here at our own little suite. I'm no longer working from home. I'm no longer in a shared kitchen space. I have my own commercial kitchen space at the Business Development Center here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So there's lots to unfold in my journey. There have been so many ups and downs, so many times where I've wanted to give up, but we're here, and I'm excited to share more of my journey with you. So stay tuned for episode 2, where we go more in depth on how I got from A to B. And we'll talk about everything from why I decided to do an LLC versus a sole proprietorship, why I started in my home and then did a shared kitchen space, why we don't have a retail shop yet, why we decided to pursue online, how I set up my online business, and so much more. I mean, business partners, contracts, contracting work, subcontracting work, packaging, design, branding. Oh my goodness, there's so much to go through when we talk about business, but I'm excited to get into the nitty-gritty with you guys. So thank you for joining me on episode 1. See ya!